Blows without borders, coming at you live from across 3 continents. Philly to Fort Hayes, Troy, and Neil. Let's do this.
Let's do this. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to this episode of Bulls Without Borders. We are here for Red Summit 33, right? 33? Is it 34? It's 34. I'm so sorry. We're here for Red Summit 34. I'm here with my two homies from Australia, a couple of lads right here. I've got the furthest to my left. I've got Troy. He is the front man for the Whole Lot of Bull podcast. How are you doing, Troy?
I'm doing good, man. It's a non-Bulls thing today for me, but like the number one player in the AFL draft is making his season debut very late into the season, and he's playing for my Port Adelaide Magpies in the state league. So very excited to go watch him play. And yeah, look at Pads just blah 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 blah. Yeah, it's Dougie Cochran Day. Let's go. So looking forward to it.
Dougie Cochran?
Cochran.
Oh, okay.
Cochran.
We're going with Cochrane now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it sounds like he might be able to get a sponsorship there.
His old man played for Port Adelaide back in the early 2000s. His his big brother, but little in terms of height, already is on the Port Adelaide AFL list. So, but yeah, he's the number one prospect in the country right now. So, and we have first dibs at him in the draft.
Okay. Yeah, maybe he doesn't want to shame his old man with being sponsored by a cock ring, but we gotta show love to everybody in the world. Like, we're all about inclusion here. So I don't discriminate against anybody whether they wear a cock ring or not. But anyways, to my left in the middle,
off the rails already.
I've got my homie Pads. He lives 7 minutes away from Troy, but they don't see each other in real life. He is. I'm just kidding. I think that's actually true, but he also
20 minutes apart now. But
oh, okay. But yeah, Pads has an awesome Substack where he talks about professional basketball all over the world, not just NBA, but also NBL, and it's a great read. Highly recommend it. He also has a Discord server that I'm sure I'll have to add an invite in the video description, but we could throw one in the chat too. But what's going on, Pads? How are you doing?
Oh man, it is a beautiful morning. I gotta be honest, I was looking forward to being in the comments, but unfortunately we are very short with people today. So yeah, I decided to come hang out with you guys instead.
Hell yeah. Thanks for stepping up. Yeah. Unfortunately, well, not unfortunately for Neil, but Neil's on vacation. I know Hayes is getting a tattoo, and Sal had to save the world from fire. So he is so it's all good though. We're going to talk a little bit of Bulls basketball. A couple of things went on this week, and without further ado, let's get cracking on it. So the first thing is Bennedict Mathurin. I would be remiss if that wasn't the first thing that we talked about today. So the Bulls apparently were interested in Bennedict Mathurin per Mark Stein. And then yesterday there was a report from Joel Lorenzi of The Athletic where he said that his source told him that it was overstated. So first and foremost, I guess this will be a two-part question. The first part will be, how do you feel about the Bulls potentially adding Mathurin? And do you believe that the interest is overstated, or do you think that there's real interest there? I'll start with you, Troy.
So apparently Mark Stein said that Bryson Graham is a fan of Bennedict Mathurin. So hey, the fact that he is a restricted free agent, and if you're a fan of a player, like that doesn't necessarily mean that you're interested in acquiring them on your roster. But it also doesn't say that you're not interested in having them as part of your roster as well. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all just rumors, hearsay. I'm not against having Bennedict Mathurin as part of this roster if the price is right. Like if it's Isaac Okoro in a sign and trade deal, like I wouldn't want to pay him much more than what if any more than what Okoro's on. I think it's about what 11 million or something like that. Anything more than that, I'm good with.
I don't think you're going to get him for that.
Then he's not like if it's over, let's just say over 15 million, then I'm good on getting Benedict Mathurin. But the idea of having him on the roster is not a bad idea, because you look at our bench, like purely at the bench players at the moment, who's a guy that you can throw the ball to and say, go get me a bucket? There isn't one. Like Benedict Mathurin can come in and absolutely do that for the Chicago Bulls. Now, is he great defensively? No, not really. But, you still need some players off the bench who can go get your bucket. Benedict Mathurin can do that. And I'm not against it, but at the right price. I'll put it at that.
Okay, we'll come back to the price thing. Actually, we'll ask that question after this one. But what do you think, Pads? I know you're a Blazers fan, but do you think that Benedict Mathurin would be a good addition for the Bulls?
He can shoot. Like, he's a very streaky shooter. I think that's been covered by basically everybody this week in their podcasts. But he's also a good transition player. And when you got guys like Josh Giddey and Baselis, like, who love to run, it's a good fit. Obviously, yeah, it comes down to how much you're going to pay him. I know Troy really wants to get rid of Okoro. He'll do anything to get Okoro off the team.
I didn't say I want to get rid of Okoro. I'm just he's expendable.
Yeah. No.
Sorry, Fred.
Well, you're going year one into a bloody rebuild. I mean, it's not the end of the world who you sign, but in saying that, it's not the worst idea to have him in a team.
Yeah. No, I honestly, I like the idea. I think that, depending on who you trade, I will say that I think I'd also be okay if the Bulls traded Zach Collins. That was
way.
Sal, hit me up when you get home. I know that we're not going to be on too long, but if you get home pretty soon, I'll throw you an invite. You can come on. But yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying, Samity. Mathurin's better than P-Will and Okoro. I think Mathurin's an instant upgrade for you at 6-man. Where our current 6-man is probably Trey Jones, which isn't bad or anything, but like you said, Troy, he's not able to Trey can get to the bucket, but he's not exactly going to take any jump shots, right? He's kind of limited in what he is good at doing offensively. So Mathurin, he not only, can create his own shot, but he can get to the line. He averaged 6 free throws a game last year. So I think it's a good idea. Now, as far as, whether or not the interest is real or not, I think the very least we could say is that Bryson Graham is a fan. I think that that's easy to assume, or at least acknowledge, because I don't think these rumors come out at all if he just doesn't care for the guy. But what it just depends on what he's willing to do. I know, we'll have to sign the guy if we bring him in on a sign and trade. And I personally seen stuff that he wants around 17 or 18 million. So I don't know if that, if that would, sounds like that would stop you from wanting him, Troy.
Yeah. When you start creeping over that, that $15 million price range, because I think he was only playing on like $9 million last year, which I understand he wants a pay raise, and, $15 million in this day and age with the salary cap isn't a whole lot of money, especially when you're paying some guy that we drafted from Florida, $18, $19 million a year. Paying Benedict Mathurin, who's actually going to, be a presence on the floor, paying him $15 million is not that bad. But at the same time, it's pretty much where I would cap paying Benedict Mathurin, me personally, anyway.
I understand. What about you, Pads? What do you think a fair price range is for Mathurin?
I've thought about this a while. I would go 15 or 18, but the only reason I would go over 15 is if it's a short contract, like 2 years maximum, over 18. That's reasonable. Like nothing higher than that.
I think as well and this is where Hayes would come in handy as well, is that I think if you're signing like sign a trade deal with a restricted free agent, I think it needs to be a minimum 3-year deal. First year guaranteed, if I've seen that correctly. I'm not sure if that is 100% right, but at least you can make that third year a team option as well. So you can effectively make it a 2-year contract, which would fit in line with all these other contracts that Bryson Graham has handed out, like Norman Powell, a 2-year deal. But yes, we have a team option for year 2. Zach Collins, like Paddy's boy from Portland that we got last year, or he can, that's a 2-year deal with a team option for second year. So you can work a contract that fits in with the current way that Bryson Graham is structuring the roster, the contracts.
Can you do a 3-year deal, but the last year is a team option?
I don't see, but again, I'm not all over the what do they call it?
Yeah, I need to learn
CBA and stuff, but
I need to learn.
Hey Sal, I know Sal's in the comments. Like, hit us up. Can you do a 3-year deal with a restricted free agent, with a team option for the third year? Let us know. I'm sure he knows that.
Yeah, because if you could do that, then I think that makes sense. Only because you definitely can get out of it after 2 years.
Yeah,
I think about it in this way. Like Patrick Williams obviously makes $18 million a year, and if he was doing what Mathurin does, I think I would feel like he was worth it. But I understand like why there'd be hesitancy to, bring that onto the team. I just look at it like this: is it an upgrade in talent? And I feel like it is. Now I see Sal had a question here. Watson or Mathurin? You definitely can, as long as the initial contract is within the terms we mentioned earlier. Okay, got it. But Watson or Mathurin go. So I find these guys to be on different tiers. I think that Watson is a tier above Mathurin, because he's more of a two-way player. So from what I've heard, Watson wants over 25 million. Watson wants to be paid more than Christian Braun, who on the Nuggets, and Christian Braun makes 25 million a year. So Watson is aiming for a deal over 25 million a year. I don't see the Bulls doing that. I would love it because I think Peyton Watson is a great player, but I don't see like that. That would put the Bulls into, paying some fine or, some fees or whatever for being over the cap. And while I would think that's awesome, I just don't see Michael Reinsdorf signing off on that in the first year of our rebuild. So that's just my personal thoughts, but I like Peyton Watson more. Yeah. What do you think, Troy?
Yeah, I'll definitely take Peyton Watson over Bennedict Mathurin. That goes without hesitation, even on the 20, greater than $25 million contract. The versatility, obviously that's not that. I don't think that would or could happen this offseason now. But the versatility to the roster that Peyton Watson would bring with that too, with Martis at the 3 and Caleb at the 4, like that switchability there and the versatility that, or even to a greater, another point there with Josh Giddey at the point. Who's your smallest player there? Josh Giddey at 6'8" through in your starting lineup, because Peyton Watson's himself 6'8". Martis is 6'10", Caleb 6'11", Nick Claxton 6'11". So the switchability and versatility of the starting lineup, if you've got Peyton Watson as your starting 2 guard, because if you're paying him, if you bring him in, you're bringing him to be a starter, not come off the bench. Man, the versatility of that lineup.
You're going to tell Norman Powell to come off the bench?
Well, and the fact that we've already got Norman Powell here, that's why I automatically go, well, this will be a deal that we look at next offseason, assuming that Peyton Watson signs a qualifying offer and then we don't exercise Norman Powell's team option going into the second year of that contract. Therefore, you've got the money there to go after a Peyton Watson. And I think me and Hayes Hayes brought up on my show yesterday. I think even without exercising the team options, we've got like $37 million in cap room next season. You can automatically fit a max contract into that straight away. And then if you clear like a Zach Collins and you clear a Norman Powell, you're opening up more money even more. Like, you can throw the bank at Peyton Watson and go, I dare you to reject it.
Fair point. What's your stance on Watson versus Mathurin, Pads?
Well, it's Watson. It's not even an argument there. I mean, like, I like Mathurin, I do, but if you put both of them in front of me and say take one, I'm taking Watson. There is so much promise. He had a great season last season. This dude is literally holding the Denver Nuggets at a standstill because he should get paid. Like, but yeah, as Troy said, if he signs that qualifying offer this offseason, he's fair game next season. And like, the Bulls do have money to go after him, so maybe that should be considered by Graham. Like, hey, we should really, really watch this and see what happens with Watson. Because, yeah, next offseason, I think it's only Sacramento Kings that were like, I think Sacramento Kings would have the most money next offseason to spend. And that's about it.
As far as next offseason, I'm unclear. But that sounds correct, I think, because I think a bunch of contracts are going to be up, and that's assuming that they don't buy out Zach LaVine this year, because that would open up more money for them right now. But yeah, I'm not too sure. But yeah, I mean, what I do know is, yeah, if he signs a qualifying offer, I think that would be great. The Bulls making a move on him next year. I will say that if they do that, though, I would almost wonder a little bit, like, why we didn't chase him in restricted free agency this year. I guess, why that was the case, that, you'd have to ask Bryson Graham, but because they didn't even try to go for him, I mean, maybe they were scared of how much he was going to make per year, because it sounds like he is going to get more than even Norman Powell did. So maybe it's that, and we're just not there yet financially. But
I just checked it. It's the Brooklyn Nets, not the Sacramento Kings.
Okay. Well, my C-Red shades tell me that, whatever the Bulls do when it comes to Bennedict Mathurin or Peyton Watson, or even neither, like, I trust Bryson Graham to put this team together in his vision. And I think what it says more than anything, with his interest in Mathurin, regardless of whether it's a lot or a little, depending on who you talk to, I just like that he's already looking at the landscape of things and always being aggressive. Were you surprised when this report came out about Mathurin, Troy, because of the aggressiveness?
Yeah, look, that wasn't a name I was anticipating the Bulls going for potentially. But hey, that's the NBA offseason for you. Anything can happen. So, but no, like Reginald Banks in the comments, Bulls don't need or want Mathurin. He is trash. He's not trash.
It's ridiculous.
He's not trash.
He played great in the NBA Finals, man. He had a great I don't understand where this thinking is that he's trash. He was a starter on the Pacers too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he was a starter at one point. I think, like, obviously that may have been this year when Tyrese Halliburton. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting messages as well while we're recording here. Sorry, I've completely lost my train of thought.
It's okay. So no, I think that Game 3 of the NBA Finals, Mathurin dropped 27 points on 9 of 12 shooting and led them. He had 10 points in the fourth quarter. It's going to be hard for me to say that a player who did that when the lights were brightest in the most pressure-filled situation you could find yourself in as a basketball player playing in the NBA finals in the NBA. Saying that player is trash. That's crazy to me. Like, you could say that he's not as good as you don't want him because you don't think he fits right or whatever. But to say that he's trash is ridiculous. And also to say that we know that Bryson Graham likes him as a player. That's irrefutable. Yeah. We just don't know if he's willing to do what it'll take to get him. But these reports wouldn't exist if if Bryson Graham didn't like who he was. So
exactly.
I feel like I need to point out this factor that people got to stop thinking that Mathurin is going to be a starter and playing 30 minutes a game. If he joined the Chicago, he'll probably be playing number 2 to Norman Powell. He'll probably be playing like 20 minutes a game and taking like 15 shots. That's probably it.
Oh, he's probably getting no more than 10 shots, but that's what be his role anyway.
Yeah, there's people out there that think if there's shots that are not going to any of the young guys that we're doing them a disservice. And I just think like the Bulls aren't gonna hold these young players' hands and coddle them and they're gonna have to earn their minutes, earn their shots. And of course, like Caleb's gonna do that because he's already one of the best players on the team, if not the best player. We'll have to see it in action. But like this line of thinking from some Bulls fans that just because a guy got drafted in the first round, they must have 15 plus shots a game and they must have 20 plus minutes per game. They're not going to give them that. They're going to have to earn it. And that's how it should be. Like, I understand if, we're in year 3 or year 4 of Dalen Swain and he can't get off the bench, then that's definitely cause for concern. But we're talking about year 1, Noah Essengay and Dalen Swain are owed nothing. None of them are. I'm a firm believer that you earn your minutes. And so that'll be up for them to do. I think that Tiago's going to play the 10 best players on the team, whoever that is. So that's how I feel. I mean, what do you think about what I just said, Troy?
Well, ultimately, like, Tiago's going to play his best players, and he's going to stagger the minutes with, like, Caleb Wilson and Marcus Bazelis coming off the bench. Like, obviously, you want them playing as much together as possible, but you can't play them together all game, every game. Like, so you're going to stagger the minutes there. So, Bennedict Mathurin would have a role in this team where he's going to play some minutes with Marcus. He's going to have some minutes where he's going to, be on the floor with Caleb Wilson. Therefore, he's not going to be the go-to guy. Then he may have some times where he's on the floor with Josh Giddey and say like Marcus and Caleb are having a break together. Therefore, Bennedict Mathurin offensively can be the go-to guy because Josh Giddey, as we all know, is a pass-first player. He's a traditional pure point guard who wants to set the table for everyone else. Can Josh score? Yes, absolutely. He can create, he can get to the ring and hit the open three and all that. But Josh Giddey's role is to be a point guard, and Bennedict Mathurin will be able to feast off of that from Giddey's creation as well. So,
what do you think?
Possibilities for the rotations are endless,
for sure. Pads, what do you think? Do you think that development only comes when the players are on the floor, or do you think that and getting shots, or like how do you feel about where development occurs? And also, do you feel like first round picks, like, do you think that minutes should be earned, or do you think you have to give these guys a shot no matter what?
Well, when it comes to Caleb Wilson, because I've seen some seriously stupid comments about where he should start or be on the bench.
Apparently off the bench.
That's ridiculous.
It's
apparently I need to get a sense of humor.
Splitter is really good at identifying a player's weaknesses and their strengths. So he's going to be like, hey, this is what I need from you, but we're going to develop this. So Yeah, he's going to base minutes on that. If Wilson is having a bad game, Splitter's going to put him on the bench. They're going to show him some videos about what he's doing wrong, and they're going to develop him as the season goes. Like, that's what Splitter does best. The minutes are going to be based on how the team is performing. So, like, if Wilson's having a bad game, he's going to sit him for a lengthy period. He's just going to let him work back into the game. It's going to be that with everybody. So I'm not worried about the whole development aspect for the Bulls. I mean, it's going to be a good first season for them on the Splitter. So yeah, it purely comes down to who deserves more minutes. Obviously the veterans are going to get their minutes. Norman Powell, Josh Giddey. I'm not going to talk about Martis because everyone knows that I'm a big Martis fan. So, yeah, we'll see what happens.
For sure. So the Bulls, to move a little bit away from the Mathurin conversation, overall, I think what we're all saying is, Mathurin would be a nice addition, but he's also not necessary. So
correct.
Whether or not the Bulls get him or not, it's not going to break us or make us. I'm just excited that we're exploring all avenues to add talent to this team. But to move to another conversation, the last roster spot. So I'll ask. I'll start with a basic question here. Who do you think the Bulls should add at the last roster spot, Troy? Because it looks like if they were to acquire Mathurin, it would have to be in sign and trade. So I don't believe that they're going to. Like, that's either way. They're still going to have another roster spot to fill. It looks like. So, what do you think?
Yeah, look. Yeah, if we get Mathurin, it would have to be through a sign and trade. Because I don't think he'd be. If we can get into that $9.6 million exception, then hey, cool. But I don't think that's how it's going to happen. But ultimately. I think, you look at someone like, for the guys, I put him on the thumbnail, Bruce Brown out of Denver. Like, he's definitely a guy that the Bulls could take a look at. He's another veteran. He's a player who will know his role. He's more of a two-way player than what Bennedict Mathurin is. Like, he'll bring you more defensively, but he's also not going to be a guy who's going to be going out and seeking his own shots. And he's been part of a championship roster with the Denver Nuggets back in 2023. So, along with Norman Powell, he will bring some much needed veteran leadership to this team and be able to teach, these young guys like Martis and Caleb Wilson and Dalen Swain on how to be professional and how to, show them what it takes to be part of a championship winning roster. And hopefully help him elevate to that level.
Do you think that he'll have to play? I know he got 24 minutes a game on the Nuggets last year.
I think Denver probably really needed him to play, but again, I wasn't watching too much, Denver Nuggets basketball as well. So I'll be, transparent about that. But, looking at his career, what he's averaged, he was averaging 24. He's averaging 25 minutes a game for his career. And that could be potentially a role that he could play here in Chicago, depending on how slowly or quickly you want to bring along Dalen Swain. What is it? He played all 82 games last year as well. So, after a number of injury-riddled seasons.
Yeah.
So, and he shot the ball at 38% from three last year as well. So,
yep. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, his career is funny. He's kind of all over the place. He shot 40% with the Nets back in 2021 from three, but then he shot 30% 2 years ago with the Raptors.
But his career has been a bit up and down with how his roles changed and all that. I think we saw the best of him in that championship year with Denver, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, well, would that be 2022? So, yeah, he averaged second highest points per game of his career. And he's, 3.5 assists per game. So, yeah, he's got a little bit of everything, and he plays good defense, right? So,
yeah, He's solid.
He's decent. At least he's decent. Like I like him a lot more as a backup shooting guard than I would like Okoro. Because look, apologies to C Red Fred. I don't think he watches us, but if you do, I hate Okoro. I can't stand him, dude. Like if we could have traded him for Mathurin, I would have thrown a party. I don't want to watch Okoro play basketball on my team anymore. When he gets the ball, I want to throw up and then eat more so I could throw up twice.
So here's where I'll throw the assist to Pads. Well, throw the lob up to Pads here to dunk this home.
Dude, dunk
Under
it.
Tiago Splitter, how do you think in an off the bench role can Isaac Okoro be a Tui Kamara kind of player for the Bulls?
No.
Not even in a reduced version, like off the bench, specialized role.
Maybe City Sissoko. Maybe him, but not Kamara. Kamara he's too quick, he's too smart, he's too aggressive. Okoro is a great defender. Like, I'm not going to say he's a bad defender, but he's just not on the level of Kamara. It's just there's not even close.
He is a good
and
defender.
This was supposed to be the greatest trade in Chicago Bulls history, according to Fred. The Lonzo Ball for Isaac Okoro deal. No, it wasn't.
I know he loves Okoro.
Oh,
I think he was upset about the Mathurin news because everyone was talking about Okoro being the one.
Oh yeah, he really got upset about that. Like, he's like, no, you cannot do this, and especially not for Isaac Okoro. But man,
I'd love
Isaac
to have Fred
Okoro
on the show.
Man.
We should ask him to come on the show. I'd like him to come on. I mean, as long as he knows that we're probably
Roasting?
taking some opposite stances here. But I wouldn't mind listening to him make the arguments, but I just don't. What he does on offense is just so bad to me. Like once in a while, every once in a while, a squirrel finds a nut. Like he once in a while, he plays decent on offense. He might go 3 of 5 from 3, and you're like, wow, like Okoro's decent. But then the next game, he goes 0 of 4 from downtown, steps on the out of bounds line twice, turns it all over a few times, and you're just like, fuck this guy.
But that's not his fault. According to Fred, that's not Isaac's fault.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, he's better than
Love you,
Patrick Williams, but that's not exactly a ringing endorsement. So, I mean, yeah. Are there any players out there, Pads, that besides Bruce Brown that you think the Bulls could bring in?
I have one player, but I'm pretty sure 90% of the Bulls fans will say absolutely not. And the main reason I'm going to suggest him is purely if Collins gets hurt, and that's Christian Koloko.
He got signed by someone, didn't he?
Oh, did he? Has he got signed?
I thought he got signed.
I'll check.
Who? What's his name?
Christian Koloko.
Do I not know him?
Yeah, 1 year deal with the New Orleans Pelicans.
Okay. Well, that's why I missed it. It only happened a few days ago.
Oh, Christian Koloko. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I even knew who that was. You would have had to educate me.
He's a 6'11" defensive big man. I'm just, I look at the team. The team, it's mostly good, like size-wise. If you're not going to guard, then you go someone that is legit 5. That way, you don't have to worry about Collins getting injured, and you don't have to worry about Smith or Miller having to play the 5.
You could bring in Nick Richards. I mean, he's not the best or anything, but he's an okay backup. He'd be cheap. I don't know.
Yeah, that would have been my other option. I mean, maybe he'll want more money from last season, but if you're just signing him for the one season, that shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah. I mean, plus, like, well, if he wants more money, like, dude, he's not even getting signed right now. He should be happy if we come to him with the veteran minimum. Like, I don't know. Like, is there?
Yeah, just chuck in an extra $10.
We said what?
Chuck in an extra $10. Bam, done.
Extra $10. Here's what I've got to say when it comes to paying Nick Richards anything other than the veteran minimum.
I was waiting for the glasses that had the double thumb.
Oh, the middle finger.
Yeah, I was waiting for those.
I don't have them next to me. That's my bad. But I'm not feeling it. But is there any other any of the people in the comments? Let me know if there's a player out there that you would like to sign. The only other two people that I've seen that like bring me any interest other than I do like your idea for Bruce Brown, but otherwise, I mean, I don't know if he'd ever sign away from his brother at this point, but Seth Curry is still out there. The dude's one of the most efficient 3-point shooters in the game. And then also Gary Payton II, I believe.
Think he's just re-upped with Golden State.
Did he?
Yep.
Well, then shit, Seth Curry, man. I mean, I wouldn't mind Seth Curry personally.
I wouldn't be mad at that. Like, he's instant. Like, that 3-point shooting's absolutely elite. So, wouldn't be mad at that at all.
Yeah, I mean, he shot 48% from 3 last year. That's crazy. That's ridiculous. I mean, there's 1 year. Wait, where is it? Yeah, I guess 48% his season, his career high. He only played in 10 games, so I mean, the year before that, he shot 45%. And he played in 68 games. He actually averaged. Oh no, never mind. Sorry, that's minutes. Yeah, I mean, he averaged 7 points a game last year. I mean, plus he shoots well from the line. I don't know. He's just one of those guys. I don't know if they would actually do it, but if you need a 3 at the end of the game, I feel like even if he hasn't played during the game, like that's what his bread and butter is, man. Just put him in the game. If he gets a shot, he'll make it. But overall, I mean, I think the Bulls are mostly done with the offseason. So, we can go ahead and do this little segment. What is your grade for the Bulls? I know that, let's just assume that we're not going to do anything else. We'll assume that they signed someone like Bruce Brown or Seth Curry, someone that's not going to move the needle too much, right? Not going to really affect your grade. What do you think Bryson Graham deserves for his first offseason with the Bulls? Letter grades.
Pads, I'll let you take it first.
Looking what they've got, looking what they've brought in so far, I'm going to give them a B+.
Okay.
It could have gone a lot worse. They got Caleb Wilson. They brought in Claxton, so they got their two defensive biggish players. Martis has moved to the 3, which is much better for him. So yeah, I'm giving them B+.
Before I move it to Troy, let me ask you this. Break down the Claxton signing and how do you see his fit with the Bulls? Because there's definitely some doubters out there. There's even some people who think that Jalen Smith should start at center. I seen an article about it actually. I personally disagree strongly. What do you tell me why you like the fit for Claxton to Chicago?
Claxton, like for a guy who plays like he does, he's actually very quick. It's going to be perfect for Giddey because Giddey likes a center that can move. So yeah, that's going to be great for offensively. Like he doesn't have to score the points; he just has to work with the guys. It's going to be simple. He can stay off the ball. He can get his points from putbacks and all that stuff. Defensively, he's a live wire. Like you need someone who's going to get in, mix it up with the bigs, but also get into those places to get the rebounds. He's not going to get 20 rebounds a game, but he's going to disrupt a lot. I could probably get the guys rebounds. Like Giddey's going to get his rebounds. I'm not sure what you're going to get from Wilson rebound wise, but Claxton is just he's gonna go out there and give 100% each game, and that's what I love about him being with the Bulls. They got a center who wants to play.
Hell yeah. I love that. I don't know if I've, Troy, did you like the Claxton move? Because I mean, I think we might have talked about it on the show, but there's just been a little more rumbling lately because like there was, the initial excitement, but like over the last week or two, I've seen people out there that have kind of changed their tune and they think that this was a bad move that we brought in. Like they wouldn't have brought him in if they could redo the off season. What do you think?
No, I still think this was a good move. Now, I know a lot of people don't like how we've brought him in, like we just absorbed him into the cap space. And I mean, show me what other center of Nick Claxton's value or greater that we were absolutely going to get. Now, I know people are still going to go on about Jalen Duren. We're not going to get Jalen. We were never going to get Jalen Duren this offseason. Like if we had offered him the contract that he's after from Detroit, then Detroit would match it. Like I'm pretty confident that's what Detroit would do. Now, as far as my grading for Bryson Graham's offseason, I'm definitely going to go a minimum of a B+. I might even look leaning towards an A here, purely because like I know a lot of fans out there going, well, you can't give Bryson Graham credit for drafting the obvious pick in Caleb Wilson. Well, actually, no, you can, because there's a lot of fans out there who they would have taken Darius Acuff at number 4. Or shit, Arturas Karnisovas may have taken Nate Ament at number 4 because that's the type of play he picks. Like we've seen it with Dale and Terry, like in some of these other draft selections.
I mean, I had people tell me I heard Keaton Wagler and Ade Mara too.
Yeah, like there was people out there. So for people to try and turn around and say that getting Caleb Wilson was the obvious thing, well, yeah, in a roundabout way, yeah, it was the kind of obvious thing. But there's a lot of fans out there who would have done something completely different. And Howie, what the fuck, bro? What? A Norman Powell C? Claxton? Come on, bro. Like just say you hate this front office and just be done with it. This was at worst a B- because you've brought in a guy who's probably going to be could be the best rookie out of this draft class and could be one of the best players in this league going forward. You've maintained your future salary cap flexibility by signing Norman Powell to a 2-year deal with a team option for the second year, so you can get out of this contract after 1 year. You can do the same thing with Zach Collins. It's a team option for year 2, so you can, if he has another injury-riddled season or he just plain out sucks this upcoming season, guess what? You're only tied to him for 1 season. Like that, or you can trade him at the you can trade these guys at the deadline because hey, they've got these team options on their contracts. That's still value to other teams who want to try and clear cap space going forward. So he's maintained salary cap flexibility going forward to set up this roster going forward when Martis Buzelis is up for his rookie contract extension. When Josh Giddey is coming out of contract, it's going to be 2 years away from Caleb Wilson needing his contract extension done. This roster and the salary cap is in a good place. I like what Bryson Graham has done so far, but at the end of the day, we haven't played a single game of basketball yet. Time will tell. Like we can go back and look at this halfway through the season or at the end of the next season, go, yeah, this was a fucking brilliant offseason by Bryson Graham, or no, it sucked and he got everything wrong. Like we just don't know yet. So, but no, at this stage right now, I'm giving this at least a B+. And Howie, you can demand whatever you want, brother. You ain't Bryson Graham. You're not the one in charge of the roster. Okay, you demand a Cameron Carr. Yeah, a lot of us like Cameron Carr as well. but there was a lot of teams other than us who passed on him as well. Henry Vassar, okay, would have been I mean, me being a North Carolina guy, I would have taken him at pick 38. But, he clearly wasn't on Bryson Graham's board. It's a second round pick, big fucking deal.
And he was demanding that he be given a roster spot. He didn't want to sign a two-way deal. Right?
Okay. He's all right. So, Howie, again, you say you demanded a different Walker Kessler or Jalen Duren. Okay, cool. Guess what? Those contracts were getting matched by, how were you really going to outbid the LA Lakers on that deal? Well, Utah would have matched it themselves. Jalen Duren,
yeah, I'm not giving up. I'm not giving. But yeah, guys, we're making some judgments from summer league here. Swain, I don't feel I had Carr ahead of Swain, right? But I also had Swain up there as number 15. I think I had Carr at 11. I'm not gonna lose my mind over guys like summer leagues is nothing. I know that in this day and age, everyone wants to have an opinion right away. It's irresponsible to have an opinion, a real firm judgment of what these players are already. That, and frankly, you can't really judge a pick until you're like 3 years out. Because you got to give these guys, like Bryson Graham didn't draft these players for what they look like right now. Bryson Graham drafted these players for what they look like when they've been coached up and developed. So that's just my feelings on the matter. Did Swain have a terrible summer league? Yeah. But 4 games aren't going to decide this kid's career, especially when they didn't run any schemes, no plays, no chemistry with the team, no point guard on the team. He was played out of position. There's just a million reasons why you can't take any serious things from summer league. I know that people want to do it.
Can I tag in because you guys are getting worked up over this? All right. First of all, Howie, you're a shitstorm, man. You really are. But on the subject of Swain, he don't play him out of position. He was played out of position at bloody summer league. It didn't work. He's coming into a team where you got Josh Giddey and you got Trey Jones. He doesn't have to have the ball in his hand. I mean, you work him to the top of the key. You give him the ball. That dude is a great perimeter playmaker. He has a vision at the top of the 3-point line that is beautiful to see. Don't act like he is going to be the next great thing because he is seriously could be good if you don't overhype him straight away. Let the guy develop first. And that's what pisses me off most. The guy doesn't have to be great straight away. This isn't Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. This isn't Michael Jordan. Let him develop. It's simple as that.
And development isn't linear. It happens differently for everybody. So some guys, like, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but what if Carr is awesome year one, but he never improves? Then that, what if Swain sucks year one, but he improves greatly in year 3? You just got to let these things play out. I have no reason not to trust Bryson Graham until I have more time to watch how his judgments play out. I think Claxton stands a very good chance of playing good basketball underneath Tiago Splitter. That's the other thing. I think Tiago Splitter asked for Nick Claxton. Like, I think I find it hard to believe that it's a coincidence that as soon as Tiago gets hired, Nick Claxton gets acquired. And lo and behold, the best year of Nick Claxton's career was the last time Tiago Splitter was with him. That feels like a straight up, like, BG went to Tiago and said, hey, I'm looking at these centers. Is there one of these guys that stands out to you? And he said, Nick Claxton. Maybe it didn't happen exactly like that, but, I know fans are going to fan, and I'm not telling anybody how to fan. but I would just preach patience. Like, we got to let these kids this team is so young. And what they are right now is not going to be even close to what they are in 2 or 3 years. So we got to let it play out.
Yeah.
But all right, my friends, I know that we've been here for a little while. We're gonna wrap it up for the day, but really appreciate everybody that. Let's see, Swain needs the ball in his hands to be effective. Yeah, and I think that he'll also play kinda. I think that he'll play better with Josh Giddey too, because he's a really good slasher, and sometimes you need that guy to set you up. You need your point guard to set you up. So, and with Swain also, like, they'll run real plays when they actually are, like, you know, in the regular season. Like, they were running nothing in summer league. It was pick up basketball. So,
yeah. All right, fellas, I've gotta get a wiggle on.
All right, any last words?
No, I'm good. It's like we're getting to the dog days of the off season, and yeah, it's going to be a bit slow for talking points over the next couple of months. But hey, looking forward to what if anything Bryson Graham does with his final spot on the roster. We'll see what happens. But yeah, 2 months to go until a month until training camp starts, I believe, and 2 months until we've got some Bulls basketball to talk about. So looking forward to it.
For sure. Powell is worthless. He was an all-star last year, dude. Howie, I respect Howie, I respect your passion. Boy, we got to agree to disagree, man. You know, I just hope that we have an exciting product this year and we see development from our young guys.
Yeah.
Pads, thank you for coming. Thanks for being a guest.
Yeah, no worries, man. Someone had to keep you guys under control.
For those who don't know, Pads is our producer. He is officially but age 30, he's 34 from what I understand, and he's here for like a year or two.
On that note, peace out. Yeah. I'm done.
Yeah. Take it easy, everybody. Have a great night. Yeah, I'm not a Tari Eason guy either. Here we go. Troy's pissed.
How are you, everybody? Come on, man.
Have a good night.